Hi, this is Mike Renato with Athletic Motion Golf. In this two-part series, we're going to show you the two key moves that might be keeping you from shallowing the golf shaft like you see so many great ball strikers do. This is part one. Let's get started. Here's the look we're all after. It's this early shallowing of the club shaft coming out of transition so it can steepen coming into the golf ball. It's a shallow to steep move. And we're going to take a look at 4 touring professionals and 1 amateur. And just so you know what we're looking at here, one of the coolest things about the Gears 3D software is it allows us to put a trace on the hand path. And the hand path that we're tracing is where the two hands join together on the grip. That point is what we're going to be tracing. And we're going to make this a little bit bolder so you can see it much easier if you're looking at it on like a smartphone or a small tablet. The green line is the downswing to impact hand path. And the yellow line is impact to early follow through. And we're also going to add a pink line, and that's going to show us the initial start direction, the first several frames of the hand path coming out of transition. That's going to show us the initial starting direction. And what you're going to see here is a very steep, very vertical start direction with all of these good players. And that's something to pay special note to as we keep looking through these swings. Now you're also going to see how this green line starts to really kind of slope out, shallow out, and merge away from the pink line. That's the steepening to shallowness, if that's a word, of the hand path. So if we want the shaft to steepen late, we want to steepen the hand path early, and vice versa. If we want the shaft to shallow early, we want to steepen our hand path early. So there's 2 opposing movements there that create the look that you're looking at right now. Now we're going to come on down to left arm parallel with these 2 golfers, and they are well into their lead side, over 70%. Now let's take a look at, with their pressure, I should say. Now let's take a look at 2 more golfers. These are 2 touring professionals. You're going to see very much the same thing. A very sharp, steep initial hand path, and then it starts to merge away from that pink line and really starts to shallow out so the club shaft can follow it and steepen. Again, it's a shallow to steep club shaft, a steep to shallow hand path. And again, left arm parallel in the downswing. These golfers are well into their lead side at this point. Now let's take a quick look at that same professional on the left, our 3rd professional, with an amateur. And the reason we're using these particular pros compared to this particular amateur will be more evident on part 2 video. But for now, we're just looking at the early part of the downswing. So we can see where things really start to get different here with what the amateur is doing. He has the opposite moves. If you see that pink line, it's actually fairly shallow by comparison, and his club shaft is steep. So he has the opposite move going here that we're trying to get rid of. And this guy spends a lot of time online, perusing, consuming different online content. And when he came to us, he was suffering a lot from the nasty pulls and pull hooks. And then, of course, when you do that enough, you're going to get the odd wipe to the right. So this player's trying to recover from that move, but his intent, what he told us he's trying to do, is what he heard online somewhere, was that he wants to take the hand path out. He wants to take that hand path shallow right from the beginning so he can shallow the club. So he was thinking shallow leads to shallow. And as you can see, all of our pro examples here, steep leads to shallow with the club. He was doing 1 very well. He was doing the hands out really well, but he was getting a steep club path. And you can see that shaft riding above that pink line, and then the shaft shallows late, the opposite of what we want going on. So his intent, based on some information that he had heard, was really keeping him from getting that nice shallow with the shaft early move right out of the top of the downswing. So the difficulty with this is that there just isn't enough time in the downswing to undo or recover from this shallow hand path, this outward hand path right off the bat. It makes it very difficult to get the club in a really consistent plane to play consistent shots and control the club face. Now it's your turn. grab a smartphone, grab a camera, put it down the line, and film a few of your swings. We'd love to know in the comments down below how your hand path is working coming out of the transition. Is it nice and steep and vertical like our pro examples, or is it coming out of there real shallow, forcing you to steepen the shaft like our AM example? Let us know in the comments down below. Also, we're about to release part 2. If you haven't already done so, please click on the big golf ball. You'll get subscribed. You'll get part 2 just as soon as it comes out. We'll see you then. Thanks again for watching.